Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast, Tennessee Titans Weekly.
Hulk,
Jacques.
Hulk.
What's up, folks? Good afternoon, good morning, whatever time it is your way. So, Jacques, let's get into this, man. Hey, shout out to everybody that's in Bleacher Report as well, too, man. Shout out to Bleacher Report as well. Folks, we're going to be doing this every Wednesday, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, man. Hey, welcome to the show. Jacques, we got to get into this Ran Carthon situation, bro. Golly,
Yes,
I didn't think I could lose any more hair, bro.
yes, sir. Yeah, man. It's been a roller coaster of almost 2 days, if you could say that.
Yep.
We have the number one pick, but this whole situation is overshined that
Yep.
it's beat it by tenfold, man. And it's a lot of emotions going around, a lot of things going around, a lot of conversations happening, and it's warranted. It needs to happen, right?
Yes, absolutely.
But man, we're just gonna get jump into it, man. We know Ran Carthon was fired. Um, yeah, how you feel about that, man? Do you think he should have been fired?
Absolutely not, man. We got that poll question out there, by the way, as well, y'all. Um, you know, I'd say this, Jacques. I'm going to say that Ran Carthon, okay, I understand you walk into Amy Adams' office and say, hey, I had 3 wins this year and 6 wins last year. Okay, cool. Maybe that's not a lot of wins, right? That's a lot of losses that you have on your record. Cool. But we are in a rebuilding process. Now, I know he said early in the season be a retooling or whatever. Well, that didn't happen. What I'm saying is that if you're going to fire Rand, okay, that's what you do. But you fire everybody. It should be a whole firing. If you're going to be about it, as we said in the 90s, be about it. It wasn't solely on Ran Carthon. It was a total package. They worked together in a collaborative way, as they say, right? We collaborated as a team. We're going to ride and die as a team. We're going to ride on the same boat, and we're going to get it moving. When I think of not only Ran Carthon, I also think of Brian Callahan as a coach because he had the players out there. I do feel that Rand was able to get some free agents in here and was able to get some draft picks in here. And I think that we had a better than a 3-win football team on the field. Yes, we had quarterback issues. Yes, we had offensive line issues. But I felt at least talent-wise, we had at least 6 wins this season. But I'm looking at Callahan. I'm looking at Rand. I'm looking at Brinker. We look at Chad Brinker, who we can talk about a bit later, some of the things he's done even as of recent, which I completely disagree with. And we have the owner, Amy Adams Strunk. So this is a team effort. So I don't think that he got a fair shot. I think, at least one more season. Jacques, you and I have said, we're not sitting there taking him off the radar here. Like, there weren't a lot of holes in the situation. There are things Rand could have done better for sure. But to say just to single him out, like he was the only problem, that's the problem that I have. Hell no, he shouldn't have been fired. Or if he did, like he did, fine, fire everybody. We're about to get the first pick of the draft. We stumped this year. Callahan wasn't the greatest coach out there in the football field. And I kind of talked about that during the season. I had questions about Callahan and his coaching. And then when I think of Brinker, now you have Brinker to make these decisions, which he doesn't have, just say, the greatest reputational record up to this point to bring in a whole slew of talent, right? So it's the fire is on all of them. I think they should, if you're going to make a decision like that, fire everybody. Say, screw it. We're going to start over. We're going to do this. So I don't think he should have been fired. On the sub question, he got fired. Okay, if he should have got fired, cool. Fire everybody. Get rid of everybody. That's my answer on that, Jacques. What about you, bro?
Man, I'm with the millions of Titans with millions of Titans. I'm with the slew of Titans fans as well, man. He shouldn't have been fired, man. I felt like he was trending up, to be honest with you, from the draft picks that he bought in, from the money that we saved. We still have $50 million, man. We're top 10 in cap space. Like, when is the last time that's happened? He's been smart with the money. I've heard little slick things that's come out and has been said about him that I do not like. I do not agree with. And it's sad. Like you said, if you're gonna clean house, make sure you get everybody, right? This is like the whole term collaboration. That term was used very, very heavy, man. Collaboration. In his job description, man. His job description. Like, what was his job description? Like,
Right.
the man didn't even have a real job description, and you fire him off of that. It feels like a scapegoat type thing.
Yep.
No transparency. Amy Adams Strunk hasn't come out and she made a little silly statement that she posted on social media, and then she has Branker and company come and be her spokesperson in her voice. I'm tired of that, man. And when I heard the news, man, I posted something on our social media. Man, I'm still not happy about it. I'm be honest with you. I'm still not happy about it. Um, he should have got another year to turn the ship around. Again, you can't blame just one person for them going to 3-14, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But no, he should not have been fired, dog, at all.
Yeah. I'm not happy about it at all. And I'm not happy about it. I'm not. Yeah, for sure. And I said we're not acting as if he's the greatest GM ever. We understand he could have got better, but that's what time does. You learn, right? You learn.
Mm-hmm.
And we keep seeing reports that he didn't get the final say on a lot of things. So we'll discuss that a little bit more for sure, man. So Jacques, as I've mentioned and you have mentioned all season long, we stunk. Okay. We ended the season 3-14. And not just that, we ended the season as the worst NFL team in football with a 3-14 record. So I got a question for you, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the Titans themselves are putting the blame on Ran Carthon completely, right? Because everybody else is still there. And I don't know, Callahan, you never know I don't know if the next interviews happen or not. We don't know yet. We don't know. Right. But right as of today, everybody's there. Besides Ran, I'm going to exclude Ran. Mm-hmm. Who's more to blame for this 3-14 season?
Man, that's a great question, dog. Man, again, this is Callahan's first year, so I kind of want to put it on him because it is his responsibility to develop these players. But I don't even know how much say he had in who he could have picked, right? So I don't even know that structure of how things are set up. That's the crazy part about this, because I was going to go to him, but I'm actually, man, I'm looking at the football operation part with Chad, the collective, right? The top, Chad and them. They don't have a clear-cut direction. I think we've said this before. They don't have a vision, they don't have an identity. And when you don't have that, you become the worst team in football. And I blame them because and shout out again, that's the sad part about it. We don't know who brought this draft class in, right? I wish Rand would come out and tell his side of the story, but I know probably from a contractual standpoint, he probably can't do that because they're still paying him, right? Yeah. And he has to do certain things to just the whole fort. But I guarantee you, in the next 10 years, whenever this smoke clears and he's probably a GM somewhere else or whatever he's doing, he's going to be Mike Mularkey, and he's going to tell his side of the story, right? But I blame the football operation piece of it, man. There was no clear cut direction. And again, Callahan is with just been some first year coaches to turn this thing around. But when you knew that Will Levis wasn't the guy, you should have probably put him a little bit earlier, man, because hopefully you could have won a couple of games. But then you question things like, why did they let this player go? Some players, why they're not here, right? So I could look at it from the football operation standpoint. There wasn't no stability. Still, we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, I was going to go Callahan, but then I had to think about it. I don't even know if Callahan had any say in anything what he could have did, right? I don't know if he could have said, hey, this is who I want, but we're not going to give you that to you. We're not going to give him what you want right now. You got to wait, right? But it's Callahan's responsibility to develop these players. And the reason why I put it on operations, because Callahan, to me, he's a first-year head coach. He never called plays. So you're getting a brand new package instead of somebody experienced to come in here and right this ship. You have a roster, right, at that point in time, Hawk, that had a lot of holes. But at the same time, Randy and them built a product where I would have loved a more experienced coach to come in here and say, hey, let's do this, right? I know Ben Johnson declined the head coaching interview last year. He did. He didn't want to rock with us like that. And I kind of understand why. I'm like, okay, I see why you kind of turned it down. Of course, he want to go back to the Lions and do his thing, but he probably wanted a better opportunity. But when I look at this thing, man, I'm looking at the operation piece of it, man. Again, it's sad, man. What about you, Ho?
So, Jacques, I'm going to tell you who I put the blame on for this 3-14 season, bro. If it's all of them, honestly, I'm saying all of them. But if I take Rand out of the picture in this situation, I'm going Brian Callahan, bro. I'm going Callahan. Yes, he's a brand new coach. I give him that. Yes. And I understand that. I'm not expecting Brian Callahan to make the playoffs. Never thought that even when the season started. I did have the Titans winning 8 games this season. Vegas had the Titans winning 6 games this season. I feel that Brinker and Rand, with Amy giving them the opportunity to bring in players, I felt that our team was talented enough to win more than 3 games. I do understand our quarterback play was terrible. I do understand our right side of the offensive line was terrible. I do understand the special teams was terrible. I understand that. But we are in the worst division in football, the AFC South. The Jags are terrible. The Colts are terrible. And we lost to them both. That's 4 games. That's 4 losses right there. That's a sweep. For me to sit there and say that we weren't as talented as the Jags, I can't say that. I do think there's some teams from a talent standpoint that was better, that we were better than, and we didn't perform up to that level. So I think more than anything, as a first-year coach, I think Rand was a better GM than Callahan was a coach. That's just my opinion.
Thanks, no
And all season long, I've talked about Callahan, and I wasn't even saying fire Callahan because I do want to give him another opportunity. But I think this year alone, you get rid of Rabel, you bring in Callahan to get Derrick Henry out of here. That's probably another story right there, right? You want to get this brand new offense. You want to get Tajay Spears the ball. You want to do all these different things, these innovative things. That's why we brought you here. And what the F happened? You failed epically. It was an epic fail. We are the worst team in football, and our roster don't say that. I think Rand brought in enough talent. Brinker helped in that regard. There was enough talent in here to at least win 6 games. At least 6. But I said this a while ago, Jacques, 5 or 6 weeks ago. Bro, we might end the season as the worst team in the league, dude. You know what I mean? And I was like, it's very possible we're going to get the first pick of the draft. Really just based on I had no confidence in our coach. I didn't. So hopefully he's learned. He himself says I was overwhelmed. I need an offensive coordinator. He was way over his head this season. I think Callahan's a good dude. I think people play hard for him. But he was over his head this year. That's why I feel like the 3-14 season was more on Callahan than even Rand, Brinker, and Amy Adams Strong. I put it on Callahan, bro.
Got you. Now, with that being said, should they have fired the whole entire, I guess, pitcher, if that makes sense? Callahan, Brinker, Carthon, anybody else that was part of that circle. Do you think they should have fired everybody or kept everybody?
They should have kept everybody, honestly. They should have kept everybody. But since the decision was made to fire somebody, and not just fire them on a Tuesday, right? And now we hear all this mudslinging. That's going to happen. Well, we did it because he was lazy and he was all that.
Sleeping on a plane
and all that and stuff. And shout out to you. You sent me something early on the fact that, they didn't say that when we had, who was the OC at the time?
Todd Downing.
Was
he got drunk on the plane.
Getting drunk, right? He was still there, right? So I'm saying fire everybody. Fire everybody. And this is not an emotional response here. It's not. I just don't feel that they should have singled out one person because we had an epic failure this season. We did not live up to expectations. And for those who agree with Carthon being fired, cool. That's an argument. I'm not going to sit there and tell you, man, no way he should have been fired because you walk into an office with 3 wins, 6 wins the previous season. You got some stuff you got to talk about. You got some action items you need to complete. But I'm saying I'm putting everybody in that same pot. Everybody. And I'm putting the onus on Amy Adams Strong as well, too, because she keeps doing this. She has fired everybody. Mike Mularkey gets to the playoffs, fires him. Mike Vrabel, he started to lose a little bit, but again, he had a rough draft with John Robinson, fired him. Fired John Robinson. Just firing everybody. She's on the trigger. She hits the panic button like this. Like, calm down, lady. Relax. Fire everybody, Jacques. What about you, bro?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you did these antics, this show that you put on where you brought him in and everybody's clapping and cheering for him, and he's the first minority hire and da 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 da. Bro, they didn't want you from the beginning, my guy. Right? They put these particular things in the universe. Oh, he's this, he's that. Gave him a promotion, right? Gave him a promotion. So again, usually you will see how this process works. You fire everybody. I've seen teams do that, right? You either keep them or you fire them. With the Titans, I don't know if they're trying to do something new, innovative, and they saying, hey, we need to We're gonna start something new. Hell, he hired. Okay, this is crazy. He hired Brinker.
Yep,
He
he
hired his
did. He
replacement,
hired him.
and Brinker,
Ooh,
she gave Brinker a promotion over him. If that was me, my antennas would have went off immediately because at that point, I feel like you plotting. At
yep,
that point, I'm like, oh man, I see what y'all doing. Y'all probably try to make me the scapegoat because
yep.
we all collectively came on a decision. I heard crap like he didn't stay the whole time at the Senior Bowl. Like at that point, you're nitpicking. And I've heard things about Gerard Mayo. So at this point, I'm side eyeing a lot of stuff. So at this point, yes, everybody should have been fired. You should start anew. The scary part about it is the new people that she do bring in, how long do they have? I'm telling you, man, if I'm a new GM, whoever the new GM is, first of all, you're not going to get full power, my guy. I'm just going
That's
to tell
right.
you that off
That's
rip.
right.
You're not. Brinker has, from what I've read, from what has been said, he will have the last say so on all football operations. And I guess the 53, all that. We can all come to a collaborative effort and discussion and say, hey, we want this player. Well, yeah, you want him, but you ain't getting him.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
With that being said, and with my contract, when I talk to my agent, I'm telling my agent, hey, agent, I need in a clause that I need to write this ship for 2 to 3 years. If the Titans break that contract, they owe me hypothetically $50 million, along with my contract and the pay that they're gonna have to pay me. So y'all gonna pay me if you gonna fire me. They already paying Rand, but I'm gonna put it in a clause to say, hey, man, give me 2 to 3 years to write this ship. And I'm gonna tell you why, because the roster is not talented. The roster's almost there. I give you some type of crazy plan. But just know whoever's coming into this situation, man, whoo wee. Only
Yep.
attractive thing you got is the first overall pick. But the only thing they want is a glorified scout
Yep.
with a
That's facts.
GM title. That's all they want, man. It's a
That's
glorified scout with a GM. And I got a question for Brinker. I don't know if you watch this, bro, but why don't you take the GM role? Since it almost is insinuating that you are the one that was running the show. You are the one making the decisions. You the one that don't like that Rand did. Again, if you're gonna do it, do it. Come out and say it with your chest. Don't sit behind up the glass and throw your rock and hide your hand. Come out and say something. You
that's
come
right.
out and speak. I'm tired of this, man. I'm gonna be
Yep.
honest with you. I'm tired of it because every time you turn around, it's quiet. I heard the Titans might be forced to be on Hard Knocks. That might be a good thing because we get to see an inside scoop of conversations, how things are ran, how things are going.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
again, this is a lesson for everybody out there. You wink, wink. You know what I'm saying? Be careful, gentlemen. Be careful. Play chess, not checkers, as J underscore Boog said. Play chess. This is a chess thing. You got to be strategic about it when you're doing certain things. And prior to that, Rand was not called lazy when he was hired. Matter of fact, he was praised. He had high regards in the league. Everybody was like, "Hey, he's a good dude." Man, da, da, da. And now all of a sudden, you hear lazy. Yeah, okay. So
Yep. Yep.
yeah, bro,
Yep.
fire
Yep.
everybody. Either
Fire
keep them
everybody.
or
Yep.
fire them.
That's right. That's right. And and same for Amy too. I mean, Amy, I put the blame on you as far as the organization's been run over the last several years. You got to do better. We have not been a good football team, and I think a part of that has just been a lack of patience.
Mm-hmm.
In life, at times you got to be patient, and a lot of times that's the key of it. And if you're pulling the trigger too fast, too quickly, then we can't build anything, right? We can't. We don't even have a starting point. We don't even have a midpoint because as soon as we get to the midpoint, we start again. We start over again. We start over again. When is that going to stop? And one thing, Amy hasn't said anything. She has Brinker to, so it's like it's been a lack of transparency. And then, to your point, Jacques, earlier about Rand, being called lazy, again, being an African American, when you hear the word lazy, that is a
Trigger
that
thought.
is a bad
That
twist
that is
that could
true.
carry with him moving forward,
Yep.
right? When it might not even be true. I don't think it's true.
I don't
If
either.
he sleep on the plane going somewhere, okay, fine, let him sleep.
Yep.
He's not the coach. If he wants to
Mhm.
lay down, and the fact that what we're continuing to hear is like people were actually spying and scoping him. Saying
Man.
making sure he, just always look like that's weak, man.
Weak.
That's weak.
Yep.
That has to be that. The organization has to be run better than that. And if
Mm-hmm.
it was felt like that during the season, you address it during the
On this
season,
season.
not after you fire him. If he was a bad GM, cool, fire him at that moment. We're
You did
firing
with
him
John
because he's
Robinson.
crazy. He's not doing that or whatever, like you did John Robinson. That's
Yep.
facts. That's facts. But we're
Mhm.
gonna wait on Tuesday, not really say anything, and
Mhm.
then boom, it comes out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then there's narratives and mudslinging that's going on, which again, to Brinker, he hired you.
Mhm.
Brian Callahan, he hired you.
Mhm.
If anything, you should show some respect.
So
Regardless if you liked him or not, you should have at least some respect. I'm not so much giving Callahan smoke in this regard. I'm more about Brinker. You
yeah,
know
me
what I
too.
mean? And
Yeah.
same with Amy Adams Strunk as well, too. You
Yeah.
promoted Rand. You
Mhm.
promoted him. He
Yep.
was promoted. He had an extension and he
Mhm.
gets fired?
Mhm.
That's crazy. That's
You
crazy,
know,
man.
what's crazy? They're still paying John Robinson. They're still paying Vrabel, and now you still have to pay Ran Carthon.
Yep.
You're just wasting money at this point. What are we
That's
doing,
right.
right?
That's right.
What are we
That's
doing? And it's in anything that they get that, and I'm almost to this point, they get what they deserve. I mean, fans, and shout out to the Titans fans because this is the first time we've ever been on a united front with something.
Yep.
This is the first time, and all Titans fans, shout out to y'all because y'all holding this team accountable. And it's something that really hasn't been done. We did it with our not going to the games, withholding our dollars, but now let them mess up that number one pick. Yeah, yeah,
Ooh-wee.
let them mess up that number one pick.
That's
All
right.
of a sudden, it's a wrap, dog. It's a
That's
wrap.
right, brother. That's right.
It's a
That's
wrap.
right. And we want to make it clear too, because we're the ones that started the Cook brand, by the way. For
We
those that
did.
just tune in, we've been saying Cook brand since the day he was hired. We literally started that. Literally.
Mhm.
You go back and check the videos and everything. For listening to our show, you would know that we sort of, backed up Rand as far as supporting him and things like that. We would support anybody that's coming to the organization for sure, right? So, but we do want y'all to understand as well. We're not sitting there saying he did an incredible job. We're
Mhm.
not saying that. We're
Mhm.
not saying he didn't do nothing wrong. We're not saying that. What we're saying is just be fair. That's
Yep.
all. Just be fair.
Mhm.
If you fire him, that's your decision. Cool. Look at everybody.
Mhm. Mhm.
Fire everybody. If you're
Yep.
gonna start off, fire them all because they all worked together. They
Yep.
all did.
Mhm.
When he hired Brinker and Callahan, the first thing Callahan says, we all work together. That's what we
Mhm.
do.
Mhm.
We get together as a unit. We pick the players. We pick our scheme. This is what we do. We hired the assistant coaches. We drafted the players. We got the free agents. We work together as a team. So
Mhm.
you all failed as a team.
Yep.
So you either keep them, be like, look, and I'm telling you, Jacques, if we'd have kept Rand, I would have given Rand one more year, dog. I would have
Me
given
too.
all them one
Bro.
more year.
Yeah.
I'm not saying 5 years, right? One more year to see
One more year.
progress. I'm
Yep.
not even saying playoffs. I'm
Yep.
saying progress.
Progress.
If
Yeah.
progress didn't happen, I'm gonna holler at you, Rand. I'm gonna holler at you, Callahan. I'm gonna holler at you,
Mhm.
Brinker. I'll holler at you.
Yep.
Yep.
Facts. Not
Yep.
for real.
Yep.
Again, I'm curious to what Brinker's role is really going to be. Right.
Yep.
That's what I'm curious about. But now, Rand, you're out the way, brother. The accountability, they can't make out these crappy excuses. You can bring in a scapegoat if you want to, but at the end of the day, that who built this roster now, you can't blame the new GM. Yeah, the new GM it might have some say or whatnot, but
Yep.
so
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. As an organization, we got to do better as an organization from a leadership standpoint because we're all over the place.
man,
And I can only imagine if anyone's watching the show that are not Titan fans that are even outside the state of Tennessee, I wonder what the Titans look like, right?
clowns.
I do look like clowns and jokes, right? Like, man, they don't keep nobody. We had the narrative of being the retirement home for old players, right? Now it's like, bro, you might go there, win 10 games, still get fired. That's how it's
Mhm.
been. So
Mhm.
we're getting a new stadium built and everything. We need more consistency. It shouldn't be off here, one here, because you fire John Robinson, you bring in Vrabel to give him power, you fire him, but you hire Ran Carthon at the same time.
Mhm.
You fire Vrabel, next year you fire Rand. It's like
Mhm.
every year somebody gets let go.
Mhm.
And you can't run an organization. That's like running an organization like you're a crew manager at McDonald's,
Mhm.
right? Like a shift manager. And this is a multi-billion-dollar organization that's got a whole new stadium that's being built in 2027.
Mhm.
We got to do better. We
Yep.
got to do better.
And I'm gonna tell you, live and die on your rock of your quarterback. That's another thing. I know I've seen this draft talk where this, that, and the third. We're gonna get into draft talk in the offseason. I got a lot of smoke for that. I got a lot, and again, you get it wrong. And I see you, Dub Nation. Shout out to you. I read Brinker's article, but the thing about that is that was what they were doing anyway, right?
Mhm.
That's what they were doing anyway.
Right.
That's the process anyway. You You draft, you critique, you develop, and then you retain. That's the model. That is the model of anything that you do, specifically when it comes to football. I'm about to coach youth football. I'm about to coach 6U. That's where development starts. I don't care if we win. I'm trying to develop you so you can get to the next step, so you can continue to develop and continue to develop. That's when I read that article, I don't get excited about that. I'm looking at the same thing like, oh my God, okay, this is the same crap that we were doing. What can I get excited about when I see crap like that? I'm like, okay, Brinker, you just talking trash. You talking smoke. You can talk all that smoke all you want to, but until we win, until we go, I don't care about no preseason. I don't care about none of that. Until we win our first 3 or 4, 5 games, talk to me.
Talk to me, right?
Other than that, don't talk to me. I don't want to hear none of that crap. Don't sell me on no bull crap. Don't sell me on none of that. Win. You want to solve this whole thing? You want to erase what just happened? Win. Put a winning product out there. And that's I'm not talking about, because what Amy seemed like she wants you to win 10 big ones. She don't want you to win 6. She don't want you to win 7. She wants you to win 10 big ones. Because what if this same model that he has, what if we do that and we happen to mess it up because we don't get a quarterback, right?
Yep.
And we go, 2-7 the first couple of games. Callahan's gone. Brinker, you pack your stuff, you gone. Everybody's gone. Everybody's gone.
Yep.
So again, we can talk that crap. We can say this. We can say that. Brinker can put that. At this point, I'm tired of hearing noise. I'm tired of you sitting there. Hey, this is where our plan is going to be. Okay, cool. Execute it. Stop talking about it. You got the number 1 pick. Figure it out.
Facts. So, Jacques, I have a question for you. I got a question for those. Appreciate everybody in the chat, by the way, as well, too. So, with Brian Callahan next year, which I feel like the expectation for Brian Callahan is going to be crazy, right, for him to win games. How many wins do you think it's going to take for him to keep his job in 2025?
So if I was the owner, I'm giving him about 7 to 8. But Amy, the way she is, man, you can't even win 7 games, bro. You better win at least your high should be 10, your low should be 8. Unfortunately, because we're in a bad division. Our strength of schedule is not as hard. It's tough, but it's not as tough. And we play Mike Vrabel because Mike Vrabel might go to the Patriots. So if we lose to Vrabel, I feel sorry for Callahan because Callahan ain't gonna get no fair shake either. Yeah. That's how. Let me not say that. That's how the button, like you said, the panic button gets pushed. That's how it gets pushed. And all of a sudden, we're looking for a new head coach. And you be like, well, damn, you didn't even. He was 3-13 last year. He won you 7 games. That's an improvement. Yeah. That's realistically it's supposed to be 7 and 8, Hawk. But if knowing the unpredictability of Amy Adams Strunk, she gonna want that man to go to the Super Bowl.
Yep. We don't know. That might be true. I'm serious.
Like it's crazy, man. It should be 7 to 8, man. It should be 7 to 8, but man, realistically, I don't know what she's thinking, dog. What about you, Hope?
Yeah, I think 7 to 8 for sure. He has to win 7 games. He's gonna have to win 7 games because she talked about in her presser that Brinker spoke for her is they regressed from the season prior as far as wins, which they did, right? They don't go from 6 wins to 3. Cool. So what's more than 6? 7. So I think she would keep him safe if we get 7 wins and there's progress within those 7 wins. Not nothing fluky, nothing crazy. And I'm not sitting there telling y'all, though it's confirmed 7, he's straight. I'm not saying that.
Man.
Him being straight would be 9 wins. He'd be like, we ain't got nothing to worry about. If we win 7 games next year, we're not making the playoffs. Then when Black Monday comes around, I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, he's guaranteed that. It's good. He could. No, I don't know. But I think that's his safe spot. If I'm Brian Callahan, I'm not unlocking my bags, bro.
Nope.
I'm not moving to a big house in Brentwood. I'm literally going to stay in my apartment wherever I'm at. I'm going to chill out. And I'm going to say, I got to get 7 wins, honey. When he talks to his wife and kids, I got to get 7 wins.
Right.
To stay here in Nashville, Tennessee, I got to do that. So I'm saying 7.
I think all the players should do that. Do not root yourself here in Tennessee because you ain't gonna be here long. Don't do it. And that is these men have livelihoods, man. Yeah, and you mess up their livelihoods like that.
That's right.
Sad, dog. Like it's This organization, man, I never thought I would say this, man, is a joke. Shout out to Bud Adams, man. At least he knew what he was doing. So R.I.P. to Bud Adams. At least you knew what you were doing, brother. At least you knew what you was doing.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Skill Master. I can't even. I'm excited about the number 1 pick, but I'm just dejected enough where I think they just gonna mess it up somehow. I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, it's exciting. Yeah. It's exciting to have, but it's also a cautious type thing. It's almost like you see it. Oh, they got the number 1 pick, but you're like, oh, and I'm gonna tell you something else too. I'm gonna tell you something else that you lose with Ran. You lose the relatability when it comes to drawing in talent from a free agent perspective. That's right. Also from a draft perspective, because those people, you see what Jarvis Brownlee put?
Yep.
Red flag, right? Yep. You lose that relatability because he knew how to draw in talent.
That's right.
Because he knew he's well repped around the league, man.
That's right,
crazy
brother.
to see it.
That's right.
So
that's right.
Yeah.
Even what Deion Sanders said. Yep. Soon as the news got out, Deion Sanders tweeted 2 eyes, like, what? And he said, what? Yep. That shocked everybody. Shannon Sharp talked about it. Mina Kynes talked about it.
Just shout out to Derek Mason. Derek Mason, man, he had a hell of a segment on the radio today talking about it, man. Shout out to you, D. Mason.
Yeah, he did, man. And one thing that I like is that I hadn't heard anyone say he should have been kept here because of his record and how great of a GM. No one is saying that. Right. What people are just saying was either give him another shot or fire everybody or keep everybody. Yep. And we feel that 100%. You know what I mean? We really do. So, so cool. Well, listen, folks, look, we appreciate everybody watching the show today, man. If you're watching us any other platform outside of Bleacher Report, again, man, we're out on YouTube. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple. We're everywhere, man. You know what I mean? So this show will be coming on Wednesday, every Wednesday at 7 p.m. We appreciate it from Bleacher Report as well. Again, if you want to follow us, follow some Tennessee Titans Weekly on all platforms. This offseason, man, it's so much going on with the Titans, man. It's going to be the best offseason we've ever had as a podcast. So buckle your seatbelt. Get ready. It's on.
Yep. And shout out to y'all, man, for the participation. Like I say every show, man. Shout out to Bleacher Report. Again, this is gonna be it's already an emotional ride, and we just got to the off season. So the draft speculation. We still got to choose a GM / scout. So I'm gonna use that term. He's not a GM. You're a scout, brother. So there's been names thrown around, some good names, but at the same time, I feel sorry for them because I'm like, approach with caution, brothers and sisters. Like, just approach with caution. So again, shout out to Bleacher Report, man. Hey, let's get to at least try to have an exciting off season. And Ran Carthon, man, if you watch the show, man, if you ever happen to come across this video, brother, you did a good job, man. Yeah. Hey, I still rock with you. I'm going to follow your journey. So hey, keep up the great work. Thank you for bringing in the draft prospects that you did. We appreciate your hard work, bro. Keep grinding. We know the feeling. Hey, Hulk, take us home, bro.
And Ran, if you ever want to do a show, bro, as a special guest, if you're watching, bro, hey, hit us up, Tennessee Titans Weekly at gmail.com. Holler at us, man. We'll do a show, bro. Give you an opportunity to speak on whatever it is that you like, man. So shout out again to everybody that's from J Boog to Peasy Gritzy. We got that boy Ski Mask Season, J Boog. We got a lot of folks in the comment section, man. Hey, we appreciate y'all, man. So, Jacques, as we always say and as we always do, man, facts.
No paper. And J